guys, Jay. Welcome back to the channel. Holy crap, everybody. I can't believe this. Mask Monday continues, and man, have they ever dropped a bombshell this week. Last week, we talked about how there will be brand new full-size masks, not just the smaller mask, but the full-size masks, which were apparently rare back in the day, but I've been told that's actually not the case, and they were just a initiative for child safety. That's kind of interesting. I didn't think that was actually a thing, but apparently that was the reason why they created the long masks. They will be included with brand new blast effects, and now we're finding out that additional blast effects will be included with the mask vehicles. This is an incredible revelation, but an even bigger revelation is additional action features, which were not included with the original mask vehicles. This is exciting, and I want to take a deep dive and see exactly what was announced today on the Loyal Subjects Instagram page, because this one literally blew my mind. Let's have a look, everybody. Guys, I just wanted to remind everybody that I will be at Joe Fest 2025, happening on June 20th to the 22nd in Augusta, Georgia. This is an incredible time for Joe fans, especially this being Yo Joe June. As a matter of fact, our good friend Ken over at Toy Connections showcased some amazing exclusives that are going to be debuted at this convention, including the Delta 17 War in the Shadows Desert Army 2-pack. These two are all decked out for desert warfare and will be integral to the story of Delta 17. And if you guys thought that the Delta 17 needed more troop builders, well, here you have them. Stunning. And if you're looking for even more exclusives, Delta 17 has you covered with the new Hailstorm Troopers. These guys were teased at Joe Fest 2024, and all the full productions of these action figures are 100% ready. They have landed, and we will be bringing them to Joe Fest 2025. That's right, everybody. Cobra Red and Blue. You cannot miss this, as they will stand out and really fit in well with your Cobra O-ring figures. This is the way, guys. Definitely meet us at Joe Fest 2025, the Delta 17 booth. The whole crew will be waiting. And of course, myself and Ken over at Toy Connections will be there to answer any questions you have about upcoming toy lines and our newest episodes. We will see you there. Well, guys, the Loyal Subjects are at it again, and I gotta tell you, I am absolutely blown away at what was revealed today. This came as a complete shock, but again, they're doing these Mask Mondays, and we really should not be surprised. Of course, last week on Mask Monday, I covered the fact that the all-new mask has all new action features, including blast effects. This was an absolute revelation, as many of the brand new full mask, and these ones apparently were rare, but a lot of people are actually telling me they weren't. They were actually something which was introduced for children's safety, are now included with these blast effects. And I gotta tell you, they look absolutely stunning and a real game changer for the mask line. As I was saying originally, that there really wasn't anything to differentiate this mask line with the original releases. And for collectors, I mean, you know, if you're a traditional collector, that's a really cool thing. But anybody who's into, you know, collecting brand new items, this was a big problem, as there really wasn't anything to really get excited about. You know, no new additions, no new features, and this brand new update really did give us something else to get excited about. You know, the Venom strikes, the holograms, the levitation aspects of them, and of course, including not only the short mask, but the long masks. Very traditional and harkening back to the history of mask. This was absolutely huge. But today they stepped it up a notch, and I can't believe this, guys. On Mask Monday, Mask decided to drop a bombshell on everybody. Holy crap, guys. Not only do we see that the original action features from each of the vehicles is intact, but now they're also including blast effects and more like bonus effects that were not included in the original Mask vehicles. And that is huge. Let's have a look at this, guys. The first one we're going to take a look at is Condor, converting the Condor into flight mode to reveal the hidden firing cannon and outfit it with blast effect to pose out in battle scenes. This is crazy, guys. Now, this is probably the least of the effects that I was looking at, but it really does give it an additional aspect to the mask lore. Of course, this being Condor's signature attack in flight mode, as well as in bike mode, and it really does add just that additional little piece, along with Hocus Pocus hologram effect. I think these are wonderful additions, and really do fall in line with the price point of Condor, it being the more budget-friendly aspect of the mask line. Let's take a look at the next one, which I think everyone is going to love. Oh my gosh, everybody. It is the HTH Sidewinder Missile Effect. Not only can you HTH drop the classic Shockwave shell onto Mask, but you can add the Sidewinder missile effect to stimulate an intense air-to-air attack against Thunderhawk. This, of course, is unique to Switchblade, and I gotta tell you guys, I am over the moon with the way they're doing this. The cartoon is inspiring many of the effects that are brought in with these new features. Particularly, I love the smoke trail, very similar to the way Hasbro does it, as you can actually see. Hasbro is definitely involved in the design process of this, and I really do love that blast effect trail, along with the HTH Sidewinder missile as well. Man, this is crazy. It really does give that added effect to Switchblade. I wish we had these when we were kids, as they would have been so much fun. Then again, there probably would have been some sort of choking warning, which is actually why they created the long masks in the first place. Now, I'm a little confused about this next effect, but it was mentioned in the press release, so I wanted to take a look at it. Fit with the HTH, with the jet flight turbine engines, and just imagine the villainous Miles Mayhem can now push it to the speed of sound. It's interesting that this is the photo that they included with this release, as there really doesn't seem to be anything attached here. I think that they actually included the wrong photo here, and we'll get to that in a minute. But it is great to know that all of these effects will be included as part of the mask line, really bringing up to 2025. And now a fan favorite really gets an upgrade, and I gotta tell you guys, this is just absolutely stunning. That's right, everybody. Rhino does show its original battering ram effect, but if we look carefully, yes, indeed, we do see those blast effects for the smokestack cannons. This is freaking awesome. According to the release, the MDO Smokestack Blasts. When in mobile defense station mode, the mighty MDU can be fitted with blast effects to pose out an awesome attack against its enemies. Man, this is going to be a lot of fun. Again, I really wish the blast effects were a thing back in the 80s, but they just weren't. Something that the designers were thinking about at the time. But what really catches me is the fact that all of the original gimmicks are still included with these masked vehicles, particularly this one, which was a battering ram effect, which really did give hours of fun for kids. They would literally position one of the Venom characters right in front of Rhino, and bang! It would literally just shoot him across the room. It was a lot of fun. This is awesome. What really gets you, though, in terms of the added additional effects, which were not included with the original vehicles back in the day, for Rhino specifically, is definitely this one. Holy crap, everybody. This is cool, and I really wish that this was with the original Rhino way back in the day. The MDU Power Winch. Need a tow? The MDU can be fitted with a power winch to pull other masked vehicles out of sticky situations. This is definitely a welcome feature, as the original Rhino did not include any sort of tow winch at all, and adding this type of effect really is giving something extra to collectors, especially as it looks as if this is going to be a functioning winch, which you can retract with this little dial. I believe that's the case, and I really love that. The molding on it looks great, especially this nylon rope, which I think will be included along with a tow hook. This really does give world building to the overall concept of Mask, and I love the fact that Brusato is the one piloting the rear caboose of Rhino. Amazing. And finally, we do have the signature piece of the first wave. It really is the Thunderhawk, and I do believe, if memory serves, that we did actually catch a glimpse of some of these blast effects at Toy Fair 2025 earlier this year. We'll get to that in a second, but according to the press release, Thunderhawk's 2-booster engine attached the flame effect blast to the rear engines of the Thunderhawk for a turbo boost. This is awesome. As we all know in the cartoon series, which of course is really leaning heavily towards, whenever Matt Tracker needed to escape or get ahead of his foes, he would deploy the 2-booster engine to give Thunderhawk an additional boost of speed, always giving him that little bit of an edge when going toe-to-toe with Venom. These, of course, are wonderful effects, and I'm really glad that they're including these. As I continue to say, this really does give collectors an additional reason to pick this up in 2025. But it didn't stop there, guys. Leaning once again very heavily into the cartoon series, Thunderhawk has one more trick up his sleeve, which I don't think anybody was expecting. Holy crap, guys, this is crazy. Check it out. According to the press release, Thunderhawk Disc Launcher, imagine launching 3 disc-shaped rocket boosters to rescue the masked teammates in distress or take out the villainous Miles Mayhem. This is nuts. I wasn't expecting this at all, as I do believe this was featured somewhere in the cartoon, but was definitely not included in any of the Thunderhawks that were released back in the day. This is an excellent action feature, which just doesn't happen with toys today, and I imagine the engineering behind this must have been a lot of fun to create for the mask team. It's interesting to see that the headlights themselves in this version almost look like they're incomplete, needing the front covers, which are transparent and different color sets. But this disc launcher looks freaking cool. and I'm super excited to see how they're going to make this happen. Whether or not it's detachable, whether or not it's actually included and built in to Thunderhawk itself, I think that's the real question here. But I don't think any of us can deny that these brand new action features are welcome additions to the Mask line. And for a real world situation, we just have to go back to Toy Fair 2025, where these were debuted at a very special event set up by the loyal subjects. All of these prototypes were on display, and it was great to see them in action. A lot of people were able to preview these in person, and they took a crap ton of pictures, including our good friends over at toyark.com. Guys, Toyark is a wonderful news resource for toy news all year round. Give them a like and a follow. Tell them that Jay sent you. If we scroll down all the way to the bottom of the release, we can see some wonderful details of the characters themselves. We also have to remember that these are all paint masters and may yet change for the final design, but these guys look absolutely great, especially Matt Tracker. And I love the fact that they actually have some paint on their faces. A lot of people are going to be a little bit mixed with that for sure, but I personally really appreciate that level of detail. Miles Mayhem looks really cool here, and we even get to see some of the short masks, which are very much cartoon inspired. There were no long masks on display for this particular event, as they were only announced last Monday as being part of the upgrade set. But all of these look very cartoon accurate, and I'm really excited to see them. We also got to take a look at some of the blast effects. If we take a closer look here, and really gives us an indication as to what's possible for these vehicles. Something that was not mentioned in today's press release is Condor's smoke effect, which is going to be attached to the back wheel in motorcycle mode, giving it that wonderful burnout effect that everybody loves. Here we see the two blast effects for Thunderhawk, which will attach to the rear thrusters, giving it an extra boost of speed. There is the bomb, which is included with Switchblade, part of its more traditional set of action features. And there are those two blast effects, which will be included with Switchblade, which look absolutely thrilling, giving it that wonderful laser blast effect. Here we see the smokestack billowing effect, which is going to be included with Rhino, and two blast effects, which was mentioned earlier in today's press release. There's the featured battering ram, which I really love. So much fun as a kid, just bashing Venom characters into the stratosphere. This early prototype does not feature the winch mechanic that we saw in the earlier press release, but it's great to see that the rear caboose of Rhino is still intact and ready to deploy. We did not get to see the disc launcher here with this prototype, and it'll be really interesting to see how they achieve that final effect. But the gull wing doors still do deploy exactly the way they did back in 1985, I can't wait to see how the spoiler and rear effects continue to thrill audiences so many years later. And one of the organizers was kind enough to actually attach the blast effects to many of the vehicles, showcasing how they would look once attached, giving it that real world feel, and I really did appreciate this. Along with all the original action features, this is proving to be a very exciting time for mask collectors, as Mask is returning to retail shelves in 2025. Guys, the loyal subjects are really adding some punch to their Mask line, and I gotta tell you, I am over the moon with what we've seen today and the additional announcements for these bonus action features, which I don't think any of us were expecting on this initial release. Mask is the mighty power that can save the day, and the loyal subjects are bringing them back one more time in 2025.